Are you a fearful, avoidant attachment style who is tired of feeling like your relationship is on the verge of a fight, an argument, or feeling like a ticking time bomb at any moment? Well, it's time to break free of your relationship triggers. And in this video, I'm going to take you through a really powerful solution and exercise for exactly how to do that. Because as I always say on this channel, your emotions are literally giving you feedback and insight into yourself, especially in regards to what hasn't been healed yet, what needs more love or attention or support, and how you can take accountability for those things to grow yourself, heal yourself, and leave your painful past behind. So, one of the first things I want you to know before I even go into this video as a whole is that if you find yourself getting triggered very frequently in your relationships, if you have lots of ups and downs, you feel like your relationship's a roller coaster, this is not your fault. It is your responsibility, but it's not your fault. And what I mean by this is the result of having so many different triggers usually boils down to two core things. Number one, you probably had a lot of triggering experiences in childhood, whether that was fighting from other people modeled to you and you were constantly exposed to that, whether that was a lot of really big chaotic experiences that happened with one of your caregivers or parents because they struggled with addiction or substance abuse or alcohol or something in and of themselves. Or maybe because you saw a really, really painful divorce or had a whole bunch of family trauma overall. Either way, all of those triggers and wounds you acquired are definitely not things that you raised your hand and volunteered for, right? These are not things that you asked for. But they are now the property of your subconscious mind because whatever we are exposed to through repetition that creates an emotional response has the capacity to program us. Anything you are exposed to repetitively over time that literally creates this emotional reaction, it's that repetition and emotion that tends to fire and wire these neural networks. And so, if you grew up, for example, with a lot of chaos around you, chances are that your subconscious comfort zone is chaos. If you grew up with a lot of unmet needs in different areas, chances are your subconscious comfort zone is to still have those needs unmet to this day. And your subconscious mind is the one running the show. It is the one actually responsible for 95 to 97% of your beliefs, thoughts, emotions, and actions on a daily basis. It is not your conscious mind running the show. And the way you'll know this, and a really clear depiction of this, is if you've ever been in a situation where your conscious mind says, this isn't the right relationship for me. This isn't healthy for me to stay here any longer. And yet you don't leave. You keep going back. I mean, that's a clear distinction between your conscious mind knowing something logically and your subconscious mind not investing behaviorally in what your conscious mind knows, right? Your subconscious mind is responsible for your behaviors at the end of the day, your decisions, what you really invest in or don't. Your conscious mind is the one sort of drawing logical conclusions, but it doesn't mean your subconscious mind will always follow. So we have to figure out how to get your subconscious mind to do just that. And here's what we're going to really dive into here. There's a really powerful exercise, and it starts with awareness and it ends with execution. And we're going to talk about the exact steps you can take to become aware and then execute what you need to do in order to essentially be relieved of a lot of these different triggering events. And it is a type of shadow work exercise. So I'm not going to go into shadow work in and of itself too much because we have lots of other videos on this channel. I have a free course you can check out for 7 days all about shadow work. I'll actually link it below. But essentially, it is a way of getting 360-degree insight into your own subconscious mind. And we're going to do this together. Okay. So the first thing that I want you to do is I want you to think of a recent time that your partner triggered you. Okay. So this is step one. Think of a recent time that your partner triggered you. And it can be your partner, it can be somebody you're just dating or seeing. If you're not currently in a relationship, you can still definitely do this exercise. It may even be more powerful in certain instances, but think of somebody who triggered you, a friend, a family member. And I want you to hold that experience in your mind. So, for example, if it was yesterday when this person didn't call you back, okay, or a week ago when somebody was too critical towards you, or the other day when somebody, made you feel taken advantage of, or somebody triggered you because you felt like they had too high of expectations of you. And I want you to hold that experience in your mind. And I want you in step number 2 here, once you've thought of the experience in step number 1, I want you to try to summarize what the person did to you. Okay. So I want you to say, this person took advantage of me. This person expects way too much from me. This person doesn't care about my feelings. Okay. And I want you to summarize it in 1 or 2 sentences. Okay. And once you've had a chance to do that, and you can pause this video if you need to, but once you've had a chance to do that, we're going to do step number 3 here, which is I want you to be really honest with yourself. This step requires radical honesty. And I want you to ask yourself, where do I do exactly what I was triggered by this person for doing? Where do I do that same thing in the relationship to myself and not even notice? So if you said, I feel like this person doesn't care about my feelings, where are you not caring about your own feelings? If you feel like this person takes advantage of you too often, where are you taking advantage of yourself to people please others? If you felt like somebody didn't consider you, where are you not considering your feelings, your needs? If you felt like somebody was critical of you, where are you critical to yourself all the time? And I want you to try to come up with as many examples as you can in this step. Okay. So think of different areas, like in your career or around your relationship to money or around specific friends or certain family members. Where are you not considering your feelings there? Where are you not considering your needs there? Or where are you taking advantage of yourself in those areas? So try to think around career, money, friendships, family relationships, also maybe around the person that triggered you. So maybe that person wasn't considering your feelings. Maybe you're also not considering your feelings around that person. So whatever it is that this person did to trigger you, where is that yours in the relationship to yourself? Okay. So, I have some really exciting news, and it's that integrated attachment theory training is back. In other words, you can be trained to become a relationship coach certified in integrated attachment theory in literally 60 days. So, who's this for? Well, of course, this is for any individual who wants to make an impact and really be of service to others while also obtaining freedom and flexibility and abundance in their lives. And this is also for anybody who's already a counselor, a therapist, a coach, and just really wants to expand their toolkit. We've had so many people enter into the integrated attachment theory program because they're just looking to obtain a certain degree of mastery in terms of understanding their own attachment patterns and also the attachment patterns of maybe their children or partner or other loved ones in their lives so they can really support those people and understand them more deeply. Now, please keep in mind that the last 2 times we ran this program, we filled up very fast. In fact, we oversold the programs and sold out completely. So if you're interested, click the link below to learn more and dive in with me. And I'd love to see you on the other side before seats run out. I want you to come up with as many examples as you can. And in our last step here, I want you to ask yourself, what is one thing I can commit to doing and executing on a daily basis in order to show up differently? Okay, one thing I can really stick to doing to show up differently so I stop behaving in this way in the relationship to myself. And this can look like anything from you saying, I'm going to actually try to communicate what I'm feeling more often to other people, or I'm going to try to set better boundaries with people when they ask for things, or I'm going to be kinder to myself in my internal dialogue, or I'm going to actually check in with my feelings more often, try to be more present with myself, or stop putting myself last. And when you fix this piece, not only, and I'm telling you this, not only will that person externally stop triggering you as much in this area, but you won't stand for it anymore. We put up with things that are comfortable and familiar because we are already doing them to ourselves. If you really never took advantage of yourself to please other people, the moment somebody else did it to you, you would say, sorry, excuse me, but you can't do that. I don't allow that in this relationship. You would gently assert yourself, and but strongly, gently and strongly at the same time. You would say, no way is this happening. If you didn't put your own feelings last all the time, when somebody else put your feelings last, guess what you'd say? You'd say, hey, just a moment. I don't feel like my feelings were considered in this situation. Can we go back to that for a second? If you were in a position where you felt like somebody was putting too high of expectations on you and those expectations weren't rational or realistic, you would say, hey, I can appreciate where you're coming from, but I don't appreciate these expectations. I don't feel like they make sense or they're fair to me in this situation. So, when you are really good at not doing these things to yourself any longer, you don't accept them from others. And so, this is your exercise for today to dig into these triggers, to understand that these triggers actually are triggering you because they're a long-standing subconscious comfort zone, usually because of how you got conditioned in your childhood. And using these 4 steps, you can change the pattern, especially if on a daily basis you show up to execute doing things a different way in the relationship to yourself first, which over time will recondition your subconscious to no longer accept these things from other people in your external world. So, this is today's exercise. Stay tuned for future videos on this channel where we do daily exercises to dig into these different subconscious programs and move the needle towards a lot more healing and a lot more thriving in your romantic relationships and all relationships. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to check out that free shadow work course below. It's free for 7 days, just for a limited time. And I will put that link there. And please consider subscribing to this channel because I put daily videos out all about the subconscious mind, exercises in personal development and healing, and of course, all different attachment styles. Thank you for watching.